All right. What's going on? Yeah, I want to make a response um to a stream that I was on Tuesday night from all the way from the next morning. It was about the Tuesday it's some type I think it was a Tuesday stream. I think I was on DJ Cudas, and that was a good stream. I mean, we started out talking black pill. We started talking about basically we're talking about, I would say, he wanted a discussion, and shouts out to DJ Cuda. It was talking about Alan Watts. He was talking about some of the things, and I heard the stuff he was talking about. He was talking about stillness, and I think he was talking about it. His whole, I think it was like every third shift panels on his platform. Appreciate him. Salute to him. And I was looking at the replay of that stream, and we had some good builds. And I fell asleep probably midway when I went to 2 to 3 in the morning on a panel, right? And then I came back on the 9 hour mark because I was on it for like 9 hours. But shout out to him again. But yeah, old boy came up there, was wanted to challenge Platinum. How he started telling his platform. I'm like, dude, Platinum has a unique way of doing things, man. I wish I would have taught the dude. Then he was over at Ramil's. It was just crazy. But the thing is, I was on that stream, man, like listening to the playback. I sounded great, man. But what thing I could say about the start of it, it kind of got derailed, and then he had that little blow up. But the whole purpose of what he was saying was really what's going on, and you know what he and I think it was a string called "Waste Time." He did a string. I think they deleted it, but that Tuesday string, that was a good one. I have it posted in the community tab. I decided to push the, I'll say, the gender war. I got another stream at 8 o'clock, but it was supposed to be Sunday, but I decided to push it back. I want to be consistent with it now. I know people don't want to talk about it, but I'll drop the link in that one. That may be an open panel. I'll have some fellas to talk about it. It's a good topic, but I don't want to hear what no one has to say. But it's at 8 o'clock, so it's gonna be pretty good tonight. But yeah, yesterday was a mess. I mean, I think I kind of lost a few people, but that's okay. It comes and goes. Yeah, and I think this Sunday I'm gonna do a stream called Mr. Evergreen Content. I'm talking about myself, and that's just what it is. And it's one of those streams that I'm gonna get in touch on Sunday, because the basketball game will be this weekend, but then I don't do it Sunday. I'll stream tomorrow. But I'm gonna stream tonight. I'm doing a back-to-back. And yeah, I saw that stream. Oh boy, it was crazy, man. I mean, it was a good stream. I think Ed and my boy John tried to derail the conversation. But it's one of those things, like, I'm like, the stream was a good message. He was trying to talk about black pill stuff, and people got tight. I mean, it started off good, and he does his normal music and things like that nature. And then I was just like saying, what's the point? And he was trying to tell it. He said, I want to put this on Patreon. And now I told him, go ahead and say it, man. I enjoy the intro. And then I think there was a part they mentioned utilitarianism. He's been listening. He's been listening to my shit, so, which is cool. And I appreciate him for that. But yeah, it was a good stream. And then I saw it. I saw the replay from this morning. I had it all night. I was watching the replay, man. I was like, man, I sound great. And then, we dabbled into something else, and we was doing some things. But the thing is, that's just how it is, man. But I know people is at Tie Cities. I had to take a break from watching Tie Cities, so I'll do one at 8 o'clock. I'll be talking about something else. that's related to the instances what's going on. It's just in general. And I thought that was interesting. But I'll talk about it's a topic that I did before about co-ed panels, and I'll say like at 8 o'clock it's about the gender war, how redundant it is. It should not be discussed. It's becoming a norm now. So recent events I've done seen, my observation for this month. And I'm good. But when I saw that replay, man, boy trying to derail it. I mean, we had a good time. That was a good stream for me. And I was talking to the general and everybody else and, fasting. And it's great. But that's the whole point. I know people just don't want to see what's going on. I mean, in the stream. So I was explaining what's going on then. So, yeah, I was on that stream, man. It was crazy. So for a person like me, seeing that, I was just looking at that stream like, man, it's crazy when we talk about when we had these long builds. So you gotta forgive me. I think I said a lot on that stream. I don't remember. But the toughest thing I would say is it did last 11 hours, but I was on there for like at least 6 hours the first half, and then 2.5 hours. It was like 9 hours I got in. So it's about 9 hours. So halfway through in it, came to 9 hour 30 mark. Old boy was arguing about platinum. That stream is so crazy because what I loved about the bill, we was talking about politics, we was talking about anarchy and things like that. We was talking about a lot of shit, but it was a build off of what we was talking about. So I've done this before, and I got one at 8 o'clock, and it's just gonna be something similar to this, but this is like what I'm talking about. Like you got people, they coming at him with panels and stuff, and then he's trying to stress this so much. I kind of get what he's saying now, but I'm glad I pushed it up tonight because I decided Sunday I want to talk about something else. I'm going to talk about evergreen content. I'm going to get into and break down why it's the way it is, especially in Black spaces, not just the manosphere, but in general. But this is related to this topic and the one with the gender war thing. I won't get in depth with the co-ed panels. It can work, but sometimes it won't work because I've seen this in March. This is my observation for those months. I've been studying. So now during this stream, when I saw that replay, I said, man, I sounded decent. But what I've learned is like you gotta have that motivation. I mean, it's cool when the ladies came up later. I think it was building it, and he had some great points. I mean, he can't do it by himself because the other two gentlemen, they tried to derail it. And he wanted to talk about black pill stuff and kind of fucked up the flow. I think New got upset as well. He said, those guys is blue pill. I was reading the chat. He said, those guys are blue pill. They're not even black pill. They're not even red pill. It's the same old arguments I hear all over the space. Shouts out to Ty City for streaming, and shouts out to Cudas with this stream I was on the other night, Tuesday night to Wednesday morning. And my time is Eastern time, so it's like 5:01 right now. It's Thursday. But I'm doing myself a favor. But what I've learned about that stream, man, I mean, we had some good moments and some bad moments. And that's the good thing about this one. And I'm glad this one's up. I'm glad they didn't take it down. They took his super chat button, and that's so fucked up. Midstream, I saw, man. And it turned out good at the end. I mean, I shout out to General again. He broke down a lot of things. I kind of appreciate what the General said in moments. And he saw the earliest part of the stream. He said, the biggest thing he saw in that stream, he said, you got to have a standard to keep people off panels and stuff like that. Well, panel etiquette and things like that. Well, number one, there is no panel etiquette in this type of format. You have to set your channel a standard to do that. And I mentioned my boy Wacky, how he does it. He don't allow nigga shit on there, right? Does a lot of damage. But you got a lot of dudes just want to get upset and try to dictate someone else is on the panel. This ain't no beef or anything. I mean, this is a response from a live stream I was on, and I noticed something. A lot of people just don't have your best interests. And what I noticed, it's not a bad panel, but if you watch the whole stream, it's pretty good. But everybody was on their own time, so but it was a normal thing. But I knew it wasn't gonna be no third shift. I mean, he had a stream, I think yesterday. It was like a video game called Colossals. It was pretty cool. It was different. He did what he said he did. He's consistent. But that stream, man, oh boy, I seen him over at Ramil's. He was getting in it with somebody. He was trying to fuck up the whole vibe. And that was around the 8 hour mark. I missed that. But it was some good back and forth. People came in the chats. And that was shut down pretty quick at the 9 hour mark, the 30-some mark. And then he just kept going and going. And he was mad at Platinum because Platinum has a certain style. What people don't understand about Platinum has a unique way of exposing these dudes when they simp, right? That's his shtick, And I heard he was gonna do one with Kwame. I don't know if that's gonna be interesting, but it's just they in here, man. And they just gonna have to they got to flip the people that are fans. You got to flip them or flip your subscribers, or whatever. You got to do what you got to do. But yeah, man, let's go on, Queen. That's just what I'm saying. Like when I was in that stream, man, you have to flip those guys and pay attention. I was at that stream and I was like, this is something to talk about. And then when I look at myself, how I sounded, I sounded pretty decent, man. I was on the Chromebook that night too. And I decided to hit the link because I didn't know who was going to be on, and he wanted to talk about something else, which is cool. It was out of the ordinary. I don't think he's going to do it again because I think he's going to put that on Patreon and something private. It's certain conversations they got to have. That's like the select few. And I think General said it best. Shouts out him again. He said, it's certain people that have conversations had, and I think New was going to do one with Grinch. I think I mentioned that on the panel. It's some Black Pill stuff, but he can't go live because his Zoom thing won't work. I try to tell New, get away from that custom. Just go live on Zoom. It's that easy. It's not that hard. I mean, hit me the link in the email. I'll be on the Zoom thing no matter how long you want me to be on. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll be on it. I can't do it on my phone because it'll damage it. Because I don't have that type of app and strength. It mess up my applications. If I did it on the phone, but I choose not to. I'd rather do it on the laptop. It's an internet laptop, the Chromebook. So for me, I'm on the phone right now. It's just streaming, but I will be on the Chromebook tonight at 8 o'clock and talk about this issue that's going to harm the future, because this is a stream that I can relate it to. And what I've seen the past couple of months is kind of with those individual ladies that start that strife. And then Slug, I'm going to call Slug Fairy. Slug Fairy want to do damage, but she's trying to find a home. She got kicked out of the Viper Pit. But, that interview was weak. I mean, she did my man dirty. So, it's a rift. So, it's part of the summer. The summer's kind of wild and, you know what I'm saying? And that's part of it. Because I'll never forget last year, I was so distracted by politics. I'm talking about myself again. And, man, I was just lost because of the election years or the election. I was so fucked up. But then this year, met the guy finally. And the reason, I think I talked about this with him that night and then before, the reason I met him, because I didn't know much about him. So I learned a lot about his content. What's going on, Toya? I learned about his content probably the whole month. And they give this man a lot of credit. And they used to love this dude. They used to praise him. I'll never heard of it. I mean, your old boy, Champ himself, Mr. 824, praise him like hell during the George Floyd thing or before it. And then they come around and say, man, fuck this dude, fuck this nigga. Da, 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 da. I'm like, what the hell? And I was explaining myself last year. But then what I would say like February, the beginning of March, that's when shit went down. You know, that shit down with zeros, man. That's just that was disgusting. At the time, I didn't see. I was just trolling. I was being in my own self. I wasn't even thinking about. I was doing pre-recorded content. I wasn't doing the streaming thing. See, I should have self-streamed those months, but I didn't. I didn't. But then I realized. I look at it now from March and now learning a lot about this dude. Man, this dude's been consistent. The reason I watch his old videos, I want to learn about what type of content you can produce like that. You know, he deals music. Mine, it's not music either. I mean, I like music. Don't get me wrong. You can get all the tech and stuff, and I learned how to structure your channel. And I was looking at how he let people talk. And since they add new features to this thing, I can have something like that. But my shit's evergreen, so I have to look at my content. How can I enhance that? But I can. And I've learned how you have that type of content. But I'll mention it probably. Um, I will say this coming up Sunday. I'll mention evergreen content, how you can do that. I mean, yeah, you need cameras and things like that, certain microphones. I can do that. But what I've noticed about this live stream that I was on, oh boy was trying to say, yeah, I want to challenge Platinum to a verbal sparring. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I mean, I wish he would just set it up and just say, tell Platinum, send an email, and just go ahead and do your thing. But he didn't want to. I guess he didn't want to. He tried to derail the conversation. We was building on something and they want to talk about something else, but they didn't want to talk about that black pill stuff because it's just like I said, I did a stream called Purple Paradise, that purple pill stuff, you know, Purple Pill Paradise. And it's just, that's what we got a problem. And I think me and New agree, we be in the chats talking. We was trying to explain to Cuda, man, like your boys is purple pill, man. That goes for all the space. They're not really red pill. If you was really red pill, you would think by enlightenment, quit complaining about females all day and do the work. Go out here and get your enlightenment on and be prepared to survive. And then black pill is your own self. You're in your own journey. I preach that on my channel a little bit, and I'm pushing the utilitarian mindset, not the nihilist mindset, because the nihilist mindset is destructive. You know, that's what propelled me to do those pre-records in January and February. But when I did the live streams, I started going in and doing damage and learning about content. Of course, I was in some little rivalry. That incident, the split, I learned a lot, man. That content took me back. But this one is kind of like one of my favorite builds with the general. I mean, that one right there, we was talking about political stuff. We didn't go extreme with it. I mean, fasting again, did it again. I wish he was in the beginning of the stream, but he was busy because he needed help in the beginning of that night with Cuda, right? He was busy. So yeah, watch that stream, y'all. I mean, I did decent. First time talking to Mahogany. Shouts out to her because we don't usually talk on panels like that. It's my first time. I've been on the panel with well, actually, that's my second time because the individual who thought was cool, she turned on Cuda. But that's part of the game. So this is the second time I've been on her on the same panel with her on that platform, Cudas platform. But what I've learned and noticed, I'm just start doing my thing. So, you know, focus on me. But yeah, I decided I did a stream last night. It was a little bit about history. So Eastern Europe, you know, that's a piece. I gave y'all the links to that stream. And I decided to do a stream tonight because I didn't want to talk about gender wars. I would say this coming up Sunday. I said, nah, that'd be so redundant to talk about it on the weekend because everybody's distracted on the weekend. So I started on Sunday since the game is on Saturday. Game 5 is on Saturday. I will watch that. But Sunday, I will talk about evergreen content. That's probably it. And after that, I'm just like self-streaming the rest of the way. And I'm just going to look at it for what it is. But I like these because you get a couple of views off of it. People come in, newcomers and things like that. So this is what I got. But yeah, when I watched the replay of that stream, I went in, fell asleep on the panel again because I was tired. Because I told him to do 4 hours, but he said I knew it was gonna be 8 hours. He said that's a skill. I said that means you're an entertainer. Invest in that shit, man. But 11 hours went past. It don't even feel like it. No, it don't. Once you're on the panel and understand, that's that entertainment skill. I just don't have a problem with it. I'm consistent on panels and became a regular. That's the only panel. I hate to say it, the only panel I've been on is over at Player Talk Radio, man. Everywhere else, I'm not even. I used to be on panels with Art of New Style a couple of times. I've been on, and the only panel I was on over there, well, actually, I was on Art of Itmore's once. It was talking about the DMX thing. That was my first time being over there. But I don't go over there now because of the Beasley beef and Angry Man and all that. And I stayed out of that because I got my own problems. Last year I was at the Brain Trust a lot. I stopped fucking with them. And the other individuals, yeah, that too. So I kind of stopped doing the panel thing. I used to last year. I was on a couple of panels. If you saw some of their streams, I was moving around. I wasn't always in the chat. I was in the panels too. There was certain streams I was on because certain nights I was on. But when I did it, I did it. But now this year, I'm doing content, panels, chats, combination of everything. So yeah, man, that's like, I mean, that's technically the wave. But what I've noticed, like, I was in that stream talking to Fastin, we talk about a lot of things, and it's pretty cool. But when I look at this stream, is like it's just typical. And I don't have a problem with it. So I have no issues with it at all. So when I was at that stream, man, like, oh boy was just mad. Tried to, Renaissance and what you call Sexy Red just came at his head, and it's like, hey, I ain't dealing with this dude. And I know people upset and things like that, and I know people didn't want to. Yeah, I lost some people last night. Could have been my old people that used to rock with me, and but it's okay. And I found a new person last night. Was in the chat. Yeah, it is. Some people just like to watch from a distance, and that's cool. I mean, I'm not the most. I hate to say this. I'm not the most likable guy in the sphere or any black sector. And I'm okay with that. And I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna be that dude. I'm not the most liked. So, and I'm going to say this. I am the most villainized person. I'm also like a villain. I don't give a shit. I learned to accept that probably this year. Last year, I was just in a tailspin. But then once you join somebody that I want to be cool with, they have a problem with him, then it's an issue. I kind of cut my ties to bullshit. I'm gonna do what I want. I know I'm gonna be over there a lot. Yeah, I've been over Mills in the chat. I stay in the chat. That's why I don't do panels. The only panels I do is probably DJ Cudas from now on. That's the only one I'm gonna do, or news or anybody's. I was on a panel with Juan G's once, done that. Been on a couple of panels with Rashawn. Shouts out to Rashawn. It's a great thing. But a lot of people just don't mess with me in the sphere. I've noticed that. I'm talking about this year. Last year they did, and I thought we was boys, but I had to cut some people off, man. Because they side with one individual and try to nut ride them. But fuck them niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say about that. Fuck them niggas. And I learned to accept that in due time. I know people don't like my ass no way. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to be me. What I've learned was I don't want to be the most liked. I'm going to tell you why. I don't need fans. I need supporters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with Star. I'd rather be the bad guy. Because I'm gonna tell you why. When you're the bad guy, shit works easy for you. I do what I want, man. If I want to talk about positive stuff, cool. If I want to talk about the negative stuff and break down people, beat them down, verbal sparring, I can do that. But in real life, I'm gonna put my hands on you. I'm just that type of dude. I ain't one of them dudes be screaming and yelling. I come to your doorstep, knock you out if I wanted to, but I choose not to, because people are so damn sensitive, or they try me whatever they want. I'd rather be the bad guy. I'm always knocking shit down. I'm dropping bombs out here. I'm a time bomb. I admit that. And number two, I don't give a fuck. I was trying to tell old boy, man, like on that panel, I'm like, you come in here swinging, mad about another individual. I would never do that. I would handle it on my panel. If you want to challenge, I'll put his name in the title. He'll come and hit the link, and I'll destroy him. You know what I'm saying? I would do it that if he wants it that way. If he likes verbal sparring or trolling, I'll destroy him. That's what I would have done. But he didn't do that. He just exceedingly tried to dictate this man's panel, and Cuda wasn't going for that shit. But sometimes Cuda's got to bounce these niggas, man. That's what I would have done. I bounced it, a troll, a female chick. She was a troll. She kept harassing. I think I did a stream, and she tried to come on, and I bounced her ass, man. I wasn't playing. They all came from the Roger Reports trolling. But a lot of times people, they just don't want to fuck with you. That I've learned that in these spaces, and that's like Black Sex Period. After this is my second channel, the almost 10 years, I've been YouTube over decades, like 13 years a decade. A lot of dudes don't fuck with you. Basically, if you're about selling out or whatever to the top, whatever, that's cool. I'm not worried about that because I'm not the most likable guy in any sector. So I'm the most hated. I can say that viewership wise, and I don't mind. I'll take that risk, wherever it takes. See, I already know my content's evergreen and I'm not the most liked, and I'm cool with that. And I'll remain that probably next year, and I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be consistent and maintain this content. Like, gear is not gonna determine if you're a better person. No, it depends on how you apply it. Yeah, you can have all the fancy shit you want to, but if people don't fuck with you for real, they was there for the certain instrumentals of your content. See, my shit sticks, and views still go up. Try me in I'll say 6 to 9 years, and come back to me. I took a 6-year hiatus. My views went up, and then I got 1,000 subscribers on 2019. I know what that's like. Take a hiatus and then have evergreen content. I could tell you how that is. Because most of the time I was not in these spaces. I was just on a job and being in the world, even though I had a red pill mindset. I got black pilled during my jobs when I did for 2 years. Then been online and learned about this newer spaces and content. So what I saw on his show the other night, Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, I saw the replay today on Thursday. I thought it was pretty good. I started that Thursday morning around midnight because I just got done with a stream with Angry Man and my stream and Ty City stream. Angry Man was talking about these women gluing their hair and stuff. And then I turned this on. I got tired of looking at that. And I want to see the replay how I sounded. I sounded okay. But it was a good strain, and people kept derailing the conversation on the panel. He could have ended that strain right there and there. And the chat room kept leaving. Because they was in it for the bullshit. They was not there for black pill content. And I've noticed that. And I'm going to probably, I hate to say this, I'm probably going to have to push it more often on my end. I'm just going to have a different perspective. I ain't trying to do no Patreon because Patreon ain't where it's at for me. I haven't figured that out yet. I deactivated mine's, I would say like last year. I tried that shit. It ain't for me. I don't even like Patreon like that, but Patreon's okay. But I'm just not fucking with it. It ain't something I would invest in. If I want to invest in content creator, I'm thinking about Rumble. I'm thinking about Rumble so I can have a platform so I can grow. And then I'll still be on YouTube at the same time because YouTube, it's like a hobby and a job at once. It's both. But it's basically a hobby. That's why a lot of people don't be monetized, because when you get monetized, they take 30% of your money. So that's why a lot of people don't want to be monetized. And I understand that. It's about money. It's a lot of politics into that. Now everybody's going to be a million subscriber. Forget it. You got to do some fuck shit to get to the top. It's not about, oh, he's going to get this and that. No, you got to finesse. I know how sorry Google is. It's about finesse, and they pick and choose who they want. That's what fucking people don't understand. The manosphere ain't going nowhere. As long as you have broken ass men, broken people, they're going to find these fucking spaces, and we got to guide them. So yes, this is a red pill community. The red pill community is a combination of, you got the manosphere base, you got the SYSBM, the leader is Mad Bus Driver, and you also got MGTOW that is now really defunct technically, because they don't really do nothing to go against the laws of this thing, and they're just failing. And then you got MRAs that did their thing 1.0 days, they're done. So yeah, it's a fragments of red pill community. See, the blue pill world, or should I say the purple pill paradise, that's this whole planet. So, people talk about pills in the new style form. It's crazy. Excessive flying can concur is called discomfort, distress. It often occurs as a result of eating certain foods, but it can be a sign of more serious condition. Often without the person being aware, there's no smell, and then an amount is tiny. Okay. Ingenious sources are inside the gut. Gas may arise as byproduct digesting certain foods, or when foods are not just okay. Okay, Kevin said, "Oh, I know who you are." Yeah, you got some good points. But I'm just saying, like, the red pill community, it's kind of tainted. I mean, I remember when people talk about real stuff, but it's a larger community, but different fragments of things. It's just, yeah, I know you are. Yeah, not a problem. I'm just saying, like, when I look at the red pill community, I just don't see the advancement. It's just the same circle jerk all the time. You know what I mean? I don't see no improvement. It's just gonna be the same cycle. Oh, there's no link. This is a self stream from YouTube, man. There's no link. But I'll have one tonight at 8. So, if you want to come to that stream, I'm talking about co-ed panels, shit like that. I agree. The red pill community is stagnant and will be a thing in the past in a few years. Yes, it will be. I mean, it still exists, but the problem is those groups. I would say MGTOW has been finished, and I think Fasten said this on a live stream. Okay, cool. But yeah, it's just like I said to the MGTOW part with me and Fast. He said, "What happened to MGTOW?" Well, MGTOW had its run. I'll say 2012 when I first heard it. Then it stopped around 2015 was the height of it. And after that, it just went down to the gutter. So SYSBM was created later by Mad Bus Driver. He studied all the black content creators, red pill community people, and he trademarked it. And I'm glad he trademarked it. He didn't want no manosphere and dudes to take hold of it. See, the manosphere, you have a combination of pro-blacks, conscious community, all the people that came from each pro-black ideology, right? That's basically the original manosphere. But they was red pill as fuck. But the dating coach aspect came later. They kind of destroyed the red pill community. They're more pseudo red pill. They're purple pill paradise. I can name names, but I choose not to because it's obvious they ain't built like that in real life. So nobody takes them seriously. That's why they're so redundant. I don't talk about that because I'm actually the last red pill content that you're gonna see / black pill content. Because I evolved from what I've said. I'm not that same dude. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's a subscriber, yeah. And just what I'm saying is, I don't see people advancing. It's very stagnated. But that's why it will be a thing of the past, because a lot of brothers that want the real knowledge, they got to be black pill at this point. But see, red pill is just a figment of what we've seen in the manospheres and different point O's and things like that. It's going on CG3, but it's a figment. But I'll tell you this, it will exist if young men are still struggling, not just the relationship aspect, but not just that. It's just the quality of life, how you live, and these problems in COVID and things like that. Yeah. But I mean, when I saw that live stream, man, it's very telling about old boy. I wish I would have talked to him, you know, probably around that 8 hour mark, but he just coming in here loose. What's going on, Juan G? Salute. And I'm just like, bruh, if you have a problem with platinum, here's what I would have done. I would have created StreamYards, challenge him. And if y'all both did, I would have skywatched and see how y'all was going to interact. But since Platinum doing his own thing, you know, he don't be on panels like that. He does his own thing, and then he start getting views. But he does clickbaity titles. That's his thing, and that's a stick. But anybody that listens to his content, he tricks guys to bait them into the bullshit. It's kind of like trolling, but you can't fall for it. It's like the rabbit hole. He'll make you tap out immediately. But see, he can't do that on other panels because they control what says and goes. I've seen him get bumped off, kicked off, especially from the brain trust. I've seen that. And it just shows you that he's a decent dude, but I think dude's trying to say he was dumb, trying to say he wasn't smart. He's smart what he's doing, yes. But he has some dumb instances. I give him that. But it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't going anywhere. I think Cudas shouldn't have just explained to Romney. It wasn't going anywhere. I think the conversation was already left when someone mentioned platinum. And I ain't got no problem with platinum either. I'm just saying, like, oh boy was just getting emotional. When I saw that stream, the replay, I was like, well, damn. I missed half what he said. I mean, he has some good points, but the problem is where it went left, he was focused on one person. He wasn't trying to fuck up the conversation. I mean, he did, trying to derail it, but it was too much going on. A lot of people was probably, I wouldn't say drunk, but they was in their own thoughts. They wasn't thinking about the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because it's random. You know, when you're on a panel with 8 people, 10, I'll say about 6 to 10 people, right? It becomes problematic. And I'm going to talk about that tonight too, because sometimes we have females on the panel, and when they derail the conversation, try to make a joke, that's when he got triggered. He got triggered because he was focused on one person. 9 out of 10, I would just left the fucking panel. I wouldn't argue with that female. Don't engage and overtalk her ass and block. You know, just here's what he should have done. He should have did what Ty City did to Misha. Not Misha, but Maisha, or something like that. Her name, yeah. She tried to flirt with him on the panel once. I forget the name of the stream that he was on prior. Yeah, they do, but it's mostly the females. I mean, if you're in a situation, Romney, if I'm speaking to you now, I would have ignored the hell out of her and kept on making my points to Cuda, and don't get mad about it, then just yell over them. You know, that's what I would have done. Or if you wouldn't have done that, I just kept talking, got loud, and she would have backed off. And what I saw what Ty City did and ignored, didn't answer a question, he was quiet. That was some beautiful ass shit. I kind of stand him on that. He stood his square, man, and I salute him for that. But what you're seeing now is like he just came in wrong, and it was late night. It was like early morning. It was like 4 a.m. because I was about to get off the panel soon because the stream ended like 11 hours, and it was a good build at the end. The end of it was a good build, but the midstream to almost to the end, like 9 hours, it was a lot of. It's a lot of people they have problems with that. And I mean, he just came in out swinging. I just like having to overtalk people, but sometimes it's a must be done. Yeah, I mean that situation he should have done, but he missed his opportunity. What I didn't like was he let the females get to him like that. Like it's only two females, I think, Mahogany and Renaissance. She calls herself Sexy Red right now. But he kind of he kind of derailed it himself too. But he wanted to talk about platinum. He wanted to talk about one person. So the boys from Florida. Yeah, a lot of listening out. Yeah, but see, I was on the panel, but I slept like 2 hours on that panel. So that was a good stream. And then I talked to the general the rest of the way after the end of the stream. And he went off and I went off second to last. And then I think Nicer was the last one went off. That was a good stream. I saw the replay and I said, well, damn. He was trying to make a point, but he didn't have nothing to say. What hurt him, he was focused on one person. He could have just killed the conversation and just hop off. That's what I would have done. Because I knew the derailment was coming. When he came up, I've seen him before with Ramils, but dude just if I was him, I'll make some content, do self live streams like this, or get you a StreamYards account and keep it pushing. Because it's going to help you in the long run. If I don't hear the discussion, I move on. I don't like to listen to music more than I enjoy hearing thoughts. Facts. And yeah. I don't understand. I just don't understand that why they do that. Like, if I was dude, I would have just killed it. I mean, it was not a bad stream. I mean, it's one of my favorites because we talked about Armageddon at the end and a little politics and a lot of bloodshed revolution. It's not going to be a bloodless. It's going to be a bloody one. And they was talking about the DC thing. That was, I don't want to say it's staged, but it was staged by the guy on the left. I won't say that. I won't leave it at that. And you had a certain individual blame Trey MBD. He had nothing to do with that. That was just to get him out of the SYSBN group. That was a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of lies. Fuck what that dude thinks. He wanted to destroy the manosphere. It's just, I ain't got time for that bullshit. And I had to cut him off in March. So I'll never forget that. I'm the best decision of my life. Yeah, they do. And it's a problem. So that's not what I'm here for. I'll talk about that at 8 o'clock and explain why co-ed panels do not work. Because 9 out of 10, a lot of dudes just don't care for these women like that. The ones that do, they're lost. And I think this is a testing ground. I mentioned this before on self live streams and a live stream. Are they the future? So when you have guys that host female panels, and it don't have to be a game versus non-game argument. No, this is the type of individuals you are. You take the risk. So DJ Cuda takes a big risk since he's an entertainer. It makes sense. And he said, he told me on the stream, on a panel once, he said, man, I got female support me, bro. He said almost like 60-something percentage. I was like, well, damn. I said, what is it about you? And then I figured it out. It was music. Tell women about to be themselves, but don't have a chance in real life to do so. So they do it online. Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it. That's not all men. That's just those particular men. It's really males. I don't call them men. Males do that. Men actually do it. They just don't do enough. And the reason they don't, because you're dealing with feminism. I don't believe in that gynocracy bullshit because that don't exist to me. That's just one part of it. It's more to it. It's feminism. The laws. You can't even touch a woman nowadays. And Alan Roger Curley broke it down to Aaron Fountain in the interview. And he said something very, very vivid. Back in the days when he was coming up in y'all's time, man, that was legal back then. But somewhere around 85, he said, and now you can go to jail now. He's talking about college campuses now. He told us, I think him and AF went to the same school. He's older than AF because they both went to University of Indiana. It's different now because of feminist laws and things like that. The 90s was the height of it. Black women and white women, they kind of blew that one. Now it's Me Too now. It's a joke, yeah, it's mean. That's why Cosby's free. And men are rebelling against that. We're going to see more of it next year in 2024, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting year because this ain't really over. Online is just a small figment of it. The wrong women don't agree. Of course, women don't agree. They ain't gonna agree on nothing. It's hard to, even if they don't agree with you, I don't even respond to their agree. I don't care about their feelings because that's what they there for. They don't care. It's just like what Tassi said. They don't care. Why waste conversation on sometimes it's best to not talk to them at all. I call that the wall of silence. They don't like that. Women love attention. Men don't like attention like that. I mean, a real man does. Males like attention. They hate. They try to think like them. That's why dudes be calling them females and stuff. But I don't pay attention what they say. It's your actions is what I look at. Even on panels, it's a testing ground. Cause see, well, I'm gonna talk about 8 o'clock. It may piss some people off, but I have to look at it like this. What I've seen dudes that have women panels, it's very difficult. I mean, the style that you're trying to run it, a lot of dudes ain't gonna be feeling that. But the ones that are feeling that and want balance, which is cool, I have no problem. But the problem is how you conduct it. It's not, even if it's not what he said, what did Romney say? He said it's not, I ain't gonna use the word structure. He used another word in the stream. Damn, I forgot. Talking about business and stuff. He was trying to talk about business, right? And it was supposed to be structured, right? He said, I don't know if he said uncultured. He said something. I forget the word, but oh well, I ain't trying to think too hard. But he said something like that. And then what he was trying to say to the man, said to Cuda, right? He said that's why we don't go into business with each other. And that's part of it. But don't think that these sites are moralistically right. And it's not about moralism. Because it's relative at this point, because when you talk about it, a lot of people don't care. They just gonna go for the entertainment. And I've noticed that. And that's the difference between me and everybody else. They like BS. And I'll talk about that this Sunday, talking about evergreen content. And I'm living proof of that. So I've learned to accept that and deal with that. So for no reason, I for one enjoy discussion with women. However, most women don't believe what men say, so it seems pointless sometimes. Oh, it's very pointless. I mean, Ty City tells you straight up, what's the point? These conversations are a joke at this point. I learned from last year when I saw a panel on Roger Reports and the way they took over panels, and then one dude put his foot down, wasn't having it. I saw one with Art of New Style. I saw one with I think Cuda did it a few times with a bunch of women, and then this one woman named Kat tried to check me, but that didn't work. I stood tall. I've seen plenty of instances, but no one cares about JX like that. I don't even follow. She don't even come to my page like that, and she know who to mess with, who not to mess with. I just don't put her name in the title. I don't really care for her like that. These dudes do. I don't. So that's usually the way it is. And the key word is relationships. That's why I don't talk about them as much, because it's a money selling thing. They try to say that's the manosphere, which is not really the manosphere. No, that's just anybody can talk about that. Non-manosphere talks talk about relationships. Anytime you talk about relationships, it's for women. It's not for the men. The man gives relationships, but normally it's for the women. They want the relationships because relationships is a hustle. The man is not respected in a relationship. I'm sorry. It's a catch-22. That's why you got some men, I ain't gonna say most, but don't want to hear those conversations. I hate to say that. But the ones that do, those are males, claim to be men. It's pseudoscience right now. And I'll talk about that at 8 o'clock, because 8 o'clock, I'm gonna really go in why they don't work. It's not structured. But since enough of that, Romney, my brother, man, you got to calm down. I mean, I understand you new to this. The way I saw you on that stream, bro, you had some good points, but it wasn't structured. It has to be structured. Because if you don't structure your Your points. I mean, Cuda gave him a chance. He gave him a chance. He gave him a chance. And I hate to say it, he blew it. He gave him a fucking chance. He said, look, if you're gonna come in here and talk about another content creator, man, that's my boy and everything. That he said, that's my guy, to my platinum. He had to save it. But the thing is, what I learned from that stream, I'm appreciated that I was there. And he had to hop off the panel, man, because he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. And it's just, I look at this stuff and say, man, what the hell you done fucked up at? So I'm saying, like, that's part of it. So, and I'm just saying. And then when you look at it, I'm not even worried about it. So, oh, what's going on? What's going on, Rashawn? Salute. Yeah. I was at that live stream, man. Nobody wasn't really talking about fucking nothing. I mean, I would say midway through the stream, I did great. But oh boy, want to come up there and try to derail shit. And I think him and Renaissance went at it, Monogamy went at it. So it was first time talking to her. And yeah, he was trying to talk about that black pill stuff. I said, Cuda, like right there, you should have a separate conversation, man. Like I talk about some of that on my channel. And I realized you gotta have to have that talk sometimes, but those dudes weren't ready. They were so blue pilled as hell. That's why they was in that purple pill paradise, man. They was stuck. Like Edward, for example, like he ain't over here. He's on some bullshit. That dude's like what 50-something years old talking about dojo and has that same picture. Man, these dudes is fucking lost, man. And I agree with New. New's going in and on the chat. These dudes don't fucking understand. I hope he makes that stream. I hope he sick what he said with that Zoom, get that shit worked out. But that custom stream Zoom, he needs to cut that shit out and just go straight streaming. You don't do all that wild stuff. Just he did Zoom before. And I don't mind being on the panel or tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I can do that. Yeah, that purple drink. Hell yeah, they were. That panel was all right to the end of it. Like somewhere around the 8-hour mark, that's when old boy came on there, had a problem with platinum. I think his name was Rami. Rami had issues. I've seen him over at Ramil's and try to stir up some shit. That's twice I done seen him done that. And Ramil wasn't playing. It was like Tuesday, 2 days ago on Tuesday. But see, Wednesday morning, yesterday, he was tired. So I understand. I mean, we had a good build at the end. So I'm right in the 10-hour, 11-hour mark. And that's good. You know, that was a great stream. Shouts out to DJ Cuda again. I think it's great to talk about that. And what you notice, we're not messing around. So, yeah, I know. I don't do panels as much, CG3. I'm just usually just chilling, walking around doing something, be in the clouds. I observe. I'm like that bull on the hill. So, you know what I'm saying? I do what I do. I got one at 8 o'clock. It's going to be a good one, but we'll see. I'll have it structured, and it's going to be one of those things and talk about topics and things. But, yeah, I'm going to discuss about the gender war aspect of the co-ed panels. And to me, it doesn't exist because we already defeated it in 2 versions of the manosphere. But in the real way, in the real world, it's not been defeated yet based off laws, because you got a lot of certain dudes that don't want to apply the work, apply the pressure. That's why MGTOW is the way it is. That's where these certain red pill groups the way it is, and they're not doing much. And yeah, and that's what they try to do to you know. But my thing is about that. I know that stream I'm talking about specifically is a good stream. You know, it's not a bad stream, but it's a good stream because we kind of resolve it halfway. But at the end of it, it was a little derailment. But people was into the bill. You know how I'll say Sexy Red or Renaissance Chick went up there. She was cool with it. She had a normal routine. Yeah, you change everything, but it takes time. But most of these dudes ain't really built like that. I've yet to see it. They ain't even built like that. I agree with ARC in that interview with AF. He explained that too, why they don't want marriage and stuff. Y'all need to watch that stream, how he broke that down. He supported that shit what they was on, but he changed. He rather have the feminism. So he's somewhat of a male feminist to me. I never thought he was manosphere. I don't think he was. He don't even mess with the sphere like that. And that's why people love him so much. I don't put him on a high pedestal. I'm sorry, man. He has those male feminist vibes. That's just him. I don't big up ARC like that. Hell no. He's a male feminist. He ain't one of us. Yeah. Oh, you watched it. Yeah. I never view him as one of us. I mean, every man's different, but I never view him as that. Like, that's the pushback he got. But I mean, he has some great points. Don't get me wrong. He's not the same ARC that we've seen in years. But he just uses he's part of the red pill community. Yeah. A lot of times, new. Yeah, me neither. Yeah. It's a joke at this point, new. I mean, you said it like last night we was at that stream and I was talking about earlier, and no boy trying to come in and try to make some boys. Yeah, he's about being honest. I mean, at this point, yeah, in this modern world, he's trying to be. He's just a dating coach. I mean, that's how I look at him as nothing more, nothing else. But I don't pay attention to him like that. I know what he's trying to do. That's his thing. But he was a part of the red pill community. But I don't know. He tried to say black pill is something else, and this is when him and BGS kind of split. And that's when he started making black pill videos debunking everything he was saying. And that was a whole mess too. BGS did the right thing and respond kindly, swiftly, and got the job done. But yeah, nobody wants to change the laws. Like New said, they're too cowardly. Like I saw that night, the beginning of that string over Cudas, I just see where their hearts is at. And I agree with the village arsonists. Yeah, pussy is king to them. No, he does not understand black pill. He still got that old video. That's why I'm saying he never really rocked with the manosphere like that. He dealt with the dating game, the PUAism, the PUA game. For them to be defeated, you have to stop giving them relevance, i.e., panels. Yeah, but it's sad. It's sad, but I don't think it's just panels. I think just them in general. Oh, you talking about him and yeah, yeah. I don't give ARC any relevance. No, he's not even relevant in the sphere. But I know Cuda loves him, but that's cool. I understand. That's his belief. I don't challenge that. That's cool. That's very cool. But you gotta understand something. When I saw the rest of the stream, even though I was only that long, and then old boy came in around the 8 hour mark, he tried to derail the conversation. But see, he didn't last with the females. So yeah, I'll talk about most of it at 8 o'clock about etiquette and not doing co-ed panels. It gets bad because a lot of people, I know they're gonna be over at Kane's, but I'm not gonna be over there as much because it's not gonna be that many people talking. So we'll see because everybody wants to do the panel discussion, but yeah. Okay, women will not change because they have no incentive to. I don't care what women do. I separate from them. Yeah, of course. Facts. Yeah. That's what I've noticed. And I try to tell Cuda, man, like when he snapped on ism, I'm gonna talk about that tonight too. Why that happened. I mean, when you're dealing with guys that talk about being that stuff, I mean, ism lived that lifestyle. I believe him. He used to, but he kind of, but they stay following us though. Yeah, they do. There's certain people that follow. Yeah, it's the ones that used to be over at Cudas. Yeah, they sneak soak all the time. But I'm talking about in general. Like ism, I look at him different than everybody else. At least he lived the lifestyle, and he done retired and things like that, trying to be an entertainer, which is good. But when I look at um, Platinum, he's just clout chasing. But I ain't gonna say he's clout chasing, but I'm just saying he's getting numbers like that. So yeah, I mean, I talked to him on a few on panels. I'm not the only one. I've done it, but he's doing to get numbers. But I understand his platform. I understand his platform. I mean, that's what YouTube wants. I mean, you want a guy like Platinum, he's making money. I don't want to say he's like cloud chasing like that, but it is a form of cloud chasing in the way most people look at it like that. That's why a lot of those guys like Kwame don't like dudes like that. And he's in the chat. It's gonna continue, man. This ain't nothing new. Like could have predicted, but we got the upper hand. They don't, because they'll get destroyed. I kind of disagree with Kuda on the mainstream, but mainstream is already here. It's on the mainstream manosphere's problem. It's not our problem. We fine. We'll destroy them over here with facts and links and shit. They don't want it with BGS. They wouldn't even last over the Roger Report. There's certain places they cannot go. They'll get fucking destroyed, and their fans will be blocked and timed out to death. Yeah, yeah, you can say with dropouts, but I ain't even a dropout. I just never fuck with that other side. No, the master is finished. It's been dead. I'm trying to be in the next Mansfield hookup. Oh Lord, here you go, Nick. Yeah, he is. I agree, CG3, and that's his thing. You know, I never understood people to understand. Yeah, he's trolling half of the time, but he's using titles and what you call AC. AC. I mean, called him out on it on the panel today. I saw that stream. I'm like, and Platinum didn't want to hear it. So boy should have just. Oh, it's been watered down. You already no, it's already here, man. Look at Fresh and Fruit and KS. It's already here, man. All they have to do is we don't fuck with it because they don't fuck with us. We're underground. I mean, I mentioned this before about it's about trends in the stream. Mainstream media is finished, man. They ain't got no leg to stand on. So you already see the broadcasting jobs in the NBA is wide open. They got teams is wanting jobs and wanting formats. We say this all the time, but not everybody's gonna make it. KS was just one. He's to the moon. Ty City broke that down. But what I've learned was, yeah, all the way watered down. Yeah, it's watered down now. That's why people is leaving these spaces and getting interviews with AF. He got what he wanted. He's a journalist. A lot of people try to say he ain't a journalist. Yes, he is. He just interviewed ARC. Don't be surprised, man. Dudes flip. Yeah, he does. He's a Scorpio. It's just like your boy, Mr. Fittinelli. They get triggered. I don't take them dudes seriously. And Ramil does the same shit. He's just on the low. He's quiet with his. That's why I don't go on his panels like that. Because I know what certain individuals I don't care for. Yeah, exactly, CG3. Like you said before on recent panels. I just laugh at these dudes at this point. I don't get mad. I just let them fall and like Cuda said, be the circus. I'm just picking up the asses and cleaning off my line. It's like Armageddon out here, man. It ain't nothing serious. I don't take these dudes 1000%, and they're done. And if you keep doing co-ed panels, like I mentioned before, it's gonna be an 8 o'clock stream. I'm gonna break down why you shouldn't do it because you got noticeable names coming through, and it's not gonna stop. It's gonna continue. So when you got guys like that, you're asking yourself from some damage. So I agree that there's a problem with that. And I think me and Auntie talked about it on the stream with everybody wacky. I think New and everybody was on the panel, Brownsburg. Is that the future though? And that future might be bleak. It might not be the future. Yeah, they loud right now in the neighborhood with that mic. Yeah, that good ass weather. So, this is like an hour. So it's only 5 something right now. Okay, I'll check Melly Monaco's little heart thing. Okay. But yeah. Oh, I saw a short clip with Melly Monaco with that red pill guy. I think his name was It's a Taekwondo, not the with the TA in it, with the Y. It was going at it in the interview. He asked us some questions. Yeah. Yeah, that too. A CG3. But Ramil himself is real. Yeah, he is. They play up to him. But a lot of them dudes, they want to check other game dudes, but they'll never check Ramil. Ramil's not a team, man. Y'all need to get out of that. No, he's one of he fucks with platinum them dudes. He just don't fuck with the space like that. But he's reformed. It's very slippery. Very slippery. I can't see his topics can be victim like topics. But here's the thing about Ramil though. It's called the Ramil. I call it the Ramil Coliseum. He posted my comment in the latest stream. He took it down and put it on Patreon, right? I call it what it is. It's a Coliseum. If you wanna hit that link, want to duel, since he's a Scorpio himself, get busy. But you got another food I don't fuck with, man. And them other dudes, like, fuck them. They just want to be right all the time. See, I hate niggas in these spaces because this is why I hate the black sector in general. Them niggas need to be gone, man. We need some balance. I mean, it's cool. I'm not right all the time. But I just don't like niggas like that. I'm sorry. I don't know how y'all deal with them. I just don't fuck with them. They worse than AC and all them combined. They're the same. I don't see no damn difference. I just don't fuck with them. No, they're not welcome on this channel either. I just don't fuck with them. Ain't no beef. It's just what it is. I love trolling them. They're a joke to me at this point. And hating on one man that does music, let him be, man. If he wants women on his panels, let him be. That's his demise. He tells you in his streams, those streams, he lets you know he's honest about it. See, as long as you're honest, I fucks with you. Just be real, baby. Ramil does the same thing. Ramil is also into, he is logical with his points, even when you disagree. Yeah, that's his thing, man. He's different. Yeah, he's for the that's how his content. I try to tell people. Some idiot in the chat said, "Oh, Ramil," in his chat, right? Oh, Ramil not good. Motherfucker, he's already got 7,000. I predicted on Cudas panels. I said he's gonna get 10,000 this year. That's the most he'll get if he keeps doing it. Any juicy topic. And I said next year he'll get 20,000 if he keeps doing that. See, he's consistent. He's got some evergreen content I haven't looked at. Ramil's fucking something else. I'm sorry. I ain't even gone to his catalog yet. I'm just saying. Yeah, I can be wrong myself. Yeah. News, sometimes I'm 95%, 90, 98. It's up and down with me. And then I learn something about the individuals any day. And I could be wrong about Cuda. At one time, I had that mindset. But then I learned about him. I said, oh my God, this guy's entertaining. Talks about tech. He talks about all types of shit. And I just left him alone. I'm not going to go against a guy that has his own background problems, and I just let him be. I don't have an issue with him. And I did the right thing, because if I start agreeing like dudes, that fucked my shit up. So I had to be my own person. Oh, that's, yeah. At least you're honest about that. I mean, hey, I ain't gonna say I'm ignorant. I mean, that's your point of view, but I ain't gonna judge you. I mean, hey, I'm ignorant on some. I'll say this: I'm ignorant on some things, but I'm willing to learn. I'll say it like that. I'm always learning. Yeah, I'm young, but I'm still learning. Especially these spaces, man, because sometimes when you deal with individuals who want to be right all the time, Sometimes you can't get mad at them, just laugh at them and let them fall in the ditch. But Ramil is the perfect place to do it, man. I don't see how you can do it. I don't see how you can do it. Like, he got all them views, and I wish I could do some topics like that, but I said, hell no. He got that. The personality has to fit. You got to be that dude, man. You got to be that monster. You got to be extremely crazy to come with topics like that. I'm just saying for man to man individually, you got to be that dude. I just don't see it for me because he taking a big risk. But when he leaves, you know what I say? You know what I say? Ramil drought. And I'm talking about loud truck. That Ramil drought is for real, boy. Woo! Exactly, CG3. Ignorance is the 5%, but I'm talking about, okay. Yeah. Oh, it's shit. I don't see no 5%. The ignorance I see is probably 30% new. A lot of them are ignorant. I stopped talking to individuals that talk about politics. I just killed the conversation. They don't know shit about it. It's easy to blame the left, but the right is no better either. I'm sick of it. That's why I don't care about left politics. I'm glad I voted for the other individual. I mean, yes, it's a lesser evil. Who cares? He's not gonna last long. They already hate him, so it don't really matter. And I'll tell you this, and my vote probably didn't count it. I can say that honestly on this stream right now. Yeah, yeah, happiness and peace. Yeah, it ain't easy, man. I mean, if you preaching like I'm preaching, like utilitarianism, these dudes ain't built like that. They talk all this wild stuff, but it's sad at the same time. But you got a lot of dudes that's broken out here. That's why the manosphere is very important. I think 1.0 did its best with the website. Donations went south. 2.0 deal with the esoteric stuff. That went okay, but 3.0 was all about ego. Yeah, that too. I'll talk about different things too. It don't get no views. I like what they said on this stream. The general said the same thing y'all saying. It don't get views. Well, it gets views. I don't say it like that. It gets views, but it's like you're hated. But that's the risk you take, and I think Cuda don't understand that. He tried to do that on his channel, but them dudes wasn't built for that. Yeah, that too. Yeah, yep, they are. And I saw it in that stream in the beginning of it. It turned out good, and we had fun later, but it's a lot of broken dudes out there, man. I mean, I just can't see that, but I'll do a stream on it tonight and break down the co-ed stuff. And let me look at something real quick, and I'll be back. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, same here. All I need is one. Hell, I've been doing that since my old content for this format. Yeah, yeah. And it's not gonna get. Let me tell you something. It's not gonna get any better. And the more I listen to them, and they talk about their lives, I don't care if it's Plat Streams, Rogers, or the New Style. I don't care where it is. I'm observing that. That's what I'm looking at. I ain't worried about the women problems. I'm worried about how broken these dudes are, especially the men. They're not built for this shit, man. I don't have no issues with it. I really just don't. I sleep great at night. I don't see why they think like that. At this point, I stopped caring a long time ago. Probably 9 years ago, I did. I was on fire in my 20s, even my 23, my awakening. But at 15, I had that red pill mindset. I knew what I was gonna do. I just learned to accept it until I got older, and I'm like, yep, I'm helping certain people. Yep, Each one teach one, emphasis on one. Exactly. Got to. It takes one at a time because you'll eventually get 15. Your topics may not be like now. See, that's why I'm going to mention Sunday about evergreen content is still king. I still believe that. If I leave, somebody's going to watch your shit. If you're not the most liked, they're going to fuck with your shit. They're full of shit. I already know how to flip it. They'll come around when their shit gets fucked up. They can be like, oh shit, this nigga's right. I ain't trying to be right. I'm sorry. I mean, think for yourself, man. That's what I teach too. A lot of things. Think for yourself. So yeah, I will do that stream that was supposed to be on Sunday, but I pushed it at 8 o'clock. So yeah, it's about 6 something. So with that, shouts out to everybody that came. I would say Queen Toya, Kevin in sales, Juan G, CG3, and Sean and New. Yeah, so with that, man, I want to say peace and shalom.